Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to stray away from reputation grinds again. Due to my last video, I've had a few people asking if there's any more ways of making a few more gold without being a rogue. Although the video is up with the rogue and the heavy logbox farming, people aren't. I mean, I consider that to be one of the easiest at the moment with pre-Shadowlands, the easiest farming grind you could do. It's just a bit tedious. But many people have asked recently if I can do another one just with professions, if there's any professions out there at the moment that are making absolute massive money. And to be honest, with the release of Shadowlands, I can't say there's a massive amount going on at the moment, mainly because people are, they've done their professions. It's not really worth farming out anything to get gear because of the release. There's not really a lot of point of doing it. So it's just going to be a bit more of an information video rather than a gameplay video. But we are going to start off with mining, actually. We're going to go through mining. That's going to be the profession for today. Mainly because I am a miner myself. I don't have really any other characters apart from this and my rogue. And we're going to start off with classic. Now, mining does still yield a massive amount of money. Not as much as I'd say as clearing the lockboxes in Blackrock Spire, but it still does quite a bit. Mainly the classic items like the Arcanite crystals, the Arcanite bars, the Elementium ore. They're still used today for people who want to collect the Thunder Fury, the Blessed Windseeker. So like I say, we're just going to go through that quick. So like I say, classic. If you like classic, the one thing you're going to do is you're going to go to classic zones. The only thing worthwhile farming in a classic zone is these small and the rich thorium veins. Only because they yield the Arcanite crystals. Now the Arcanite crystals on my server are still going for 500 gold for each of them. I do believe come Cataclysm they did increase the drop rate of the Arcanite crystal. I have no idea why. But it did rise quite a few percentage, so if you're happy just flying around classic zones, I'd mainly point out a classic zone for the thorium veins, and getting Arcanite crystals is what I would do back in classic, which would have been excuse me, Winter Spring or Tanaris. Not Tanaris, sorry, Silithus. With Silithus at the moment, there's a massive sword sticking out the centre of the map. So what you can do is, if you have a look on this map just quickly here, go to Kalimdor. No, it's not Kalimdor. Eastern Kingdoms? No, it is Kalimdor. Go down to Silithus, and there's a guy over here, and you can travel. You talk to him, you travel back through time, and this completely redeems itself. It goes back to the normal, back to the old way it was, and then you can start farming some thorium ore and get yourself some Arcanite crystals. Make yourself, there you go, there's another one for me. There's 7 at the moment. So that's 2,800 gold. It's a little bit more relaxing if you want to sit there on Netflix or whatnot and just chuck up a few crystals. Personally, it's not my first thought when it comes to money making, especially with the percentage given on the Arcanite crystals themselves. I know I've just got 2 in a row there, but don't go on the video of me getting the Arcanite crystals 2 in a row for the percentage of the drop chance. It's just not as reliable as what you'd think. Next, we're going to move up to the Burning Crusade. Another item on the Burning Crusade list for myself that yields quite a lot of money on the server itself is there's quite a lot of them actually. I think there's the Fell Iron Ore, which, as you know, is just as soon as you hit the Outlands, it's the first one you connect with. That yields itself about 30-40 gold per ore, per single ore. Now, you know yourself, if you're a miner or if you've played the game for a long time, the Fell Iron Ore itself will yield anywhere between 1 to 4 per vein. And obviously, if you're good at maths, you can estimate how quickly you can get them around the Hellfire Peninsula and Zangra Marsh. Now, they'll yield, like I say, anywhere on a server. It's all dependent on your server, so don't take these prices and facts for my server as it will be the same for yours, because it will definitely be a variety and it will fluctuate so much in the price. So don't take it as fact. I'm just letting people know that mining's out there. It can yield a lot of money. Have a look on the auction house first. See what the rates are. Is your best bet. Circle back round to TBC. So you want to go to Hellfire Peninsula and Zangra Marsh. Fell iron ore, it's again on my server, it's yielding 30-40 gold per ore. Corium ore as well, you'll find that it's more of a rarity. It's kind of like arcanite crystals, but that's yielding itself between 100 and 120 gold at the moment. Where else are we going? I forgot the name of it. Got it in my bag. Corium. Is it Eternium? I think it's the other one. Eternium was still yielding itself about 60 to 70 per ore. So if you're not a fan of Classic, you're not a fan of TBC, and you want to move up a little bit, you can always go to the North End. Now the North End itself, again, it's the first ore you'll meet as you come into the North End zone, is Cobalt Ore. I do believe there's another one, Saronite. It's just not worth as much. I don't know why. It might, again, vary on different servers. But Cobalt Ore is currently going for about 20 to 25 gold. And that is in just massive amounts. The abundance of ore that you can get through. The main zones you should farm in for it should be the Howling for Fjord and the Borean Tundra. It's just your first starter places. Again, check your server, make sure it's actually worth doing it. They're the only ones that I would farm. I wouldn't bother with Saronite, and I wouldn't bother with the rare itself, whatever the green one is, I can't remember. So now, if you don't like Classic, you don't like TBC, you don't like North End, I've had a quick look on my server from Cataclysm, and it's definitely worth at the moment. Again, on my server, I can't stress that enough. Just in case people want to come back to the video and, oh, you're lying, it's not, it's, just do a bit of research before you listen to me and start farming for something that's completely worthless. So yeah, back to Cataclysm. Pretty much everything on my server is selling for good money. The Elementium ore and the Elementium bars specifically, they're going for about 50 to 60 gold each. Ore being 50, and bars being 60. And I believe the Trillium ore, you get white and a black one, is also part of that list. Now they're going again for about 50 gold to 60 gold per piece. So it's not a bad way of doing it, especially since you can just chuck yourself into, I believe it's Oldham. Again, you'll have to do the same thing as Silithus. So if you travel down to Oldham, you should be able to go to Ramekin right here and jump onto the guy, take it back in time, and then you can continue to farm just like you would do back in the day. Another one, which is probably the most easiest because it's pretty much based off of a giant rock, is just jumping into Deepholm. I don't know what it's like for Horde, I've never really played Horde, but I know for Alliance you can just pop in a portal in Stormwind and teleport yourself there. Now, if you're not a fan of Classic, TBC, Cataclysm, anything else, jump into Legion. Now, Legion, for me, there's only one, and the only one that yields any sort of cash on this server is the Laystone ore. I don't know what the other one is, because I actually completely missed Legion. I quit just before and came back in just as BFA was ending. So I don't really know what the other one's called. I do know that there is one, though. Is it Fell something? They do actually yield quite a bit. I think for the farming you're going to do, and the farming it's worth trying to find over the Laystone ore isn't worth trying to find the Fell Slate or Fells. I think it's the Fell Slate. You'll have to excuse me again if I've got it wrong. And that's that. Apart from BFA, I wouldn't touch anything in BFA at the moment. Mainly because of the abundance of people that are doing it. They're still farming, they're still trying to get their skills up, maybe for achievements, maybe just trying to get a bit of gear. I have no idea, but at the moment, both of the ores themselves are going for, 28 silver to 40 silver. It's completely pointless. The one ore I would recommend farming if you were to, you love BFA, you want to stay in the BFA zones. And I believe it's called the Osmanites or something close to that. I believe it's only found in Nazjatar, along with the herb. And I've never done herb and I don't know what it's called. This is the only one viable, really, for farming. They're only going for 12 gold. But again, with the rarity of the actual ore and the veins themselves, and how often you get them around Nazjatar, you want to try and sort of price up your auction house to how many people are farming it in areas that you want to farm it in, and how much each stone is going for. So, for example, at the moment, I've got a list next to me, classic all the way to BFA, and currently with the price ranges, it's worthwhile, only just worthwhile, doing the Arcanite bars and the Arcanite ore, mainly because if you just have a look at my bags here, there's the enchanted Elementium bars, which still sell for about 7,000 gold. Now, I know there's quite a lot of crafting involved with the legendary bars themselves. You need 10 Arcanite bars, you need some fiery cores. If you're one for transmog, you've probably done Molten Core and Blackwing Glare each week, which means you're going to find them consumables quite quickly anyway. You're probably going to have an abundance of them all wrapped up. But if you don't, then you can just sell the crystals on their own. Like I say, in the time I've done this video, I've managed to get 10. So that's 11. Sorry, that's 4,400 gold, and it's only been 10 minutes. So it's not as great as the lockboxes. I'll always go back to that video. At the moment, if you can't level up a rogue and you don't want to, it's merely just a kind of just check your auction house, check how much the ore's going for, check out which one you can run as quick as you can, because I know it sounds silly, but some people are put off farming merely by the environment that they're farming within. For instance, I love Winter Spring, the Arcanite crystals. They sell for quite a bit. I would love to try and farm as much Cobalt Ore as I could in the Howland for George or the Warrior Tundra. I just absolutely hate the places. So it puts me off the farming. So, I'd recommend finding an ore that sells relatively quick at around 15 to 20 gold. I would try and find a place that you could sustain boredom, and I would try and find something that you actually like farming, and that will deter from this completely, because I'd recommend herbing and leatherworking over mining at the moment, mainly because herbing's massive. I think you can yield a lot more. Leatherworking, although you've got to kill mobs, they're yielding tons and tons of more money. The only thing that puts me off the herbing at the moment is that I believe herbing was done quite often by druids, and I think it was multi-box most of the time, so all the prices have come down massively. So I'm not sure if the auction house is still sitting at a very low price for most herbs, which is why I haven't given it a go. I still believe that the mine in itself is massive. So yeah, if you're not interested in rogues, you're not interested in the heavy lockbox from the other video that I've made, like I say, I was asked to do this by a couple of guys to see if there was a profession out there that would keep up with that kind of money grabbing technique, and I don't think there is, but mining still can yield quite a lot. So it'd be worth, like I say, just checking out your auction house, checking out what you can farm, where you'd like to farm, not to get bored, maybe chuck on a bit of music and just go for it. So I hope this has helped anyone really that loves their professions, wants to farm, doesn't want to get bored, doesn't want to make a rogue. Just go for it, even if it's a different profession. So just go out there, see what you can find in the auction house and go for it. And thank you very much for watching, guys. It's always nice to see the views popping up. As you can tell, I'm relatively new to the YouTube channel, YouTube and WoW. So, any like, subscribe, it all helps. And until next time, guys, have fun and take care. Bye-bye.